Hello there, I am Michael Litwack, the writer-director and VFXer for Alpha Squadron, and this is the behind-the-scenes breakdown. The process for bringing the script to life really started with the design of the interior and exterior cockpit of our spaceship. Our production designer, Lauren Fitzsimmons, drafted up designs for the interior and coordinated with our miniature designer so that they would match. Because we knew that we were going to cheat one cockpit to look like 5 different ships, we knew we wanted small ways to customize the different ships and make them feel unique. So we had 2 LED ropes that we could control remotely that had different sequences on for different ships, and we also customized the chair and seat belts in small ways to help differentiate them. The initial construction build of the ship took 3 days in a wood shop, then was taken to a garage where all the finishing was done little by little over the course of a couple months, mostly using repurposed materials from Home Depot and cheap LED bike lights. In order to simulate the movement of being inside a cockpit, we built a small platform and nailed some yoga balls to the bottom of it and did a very lo-fi version of a hydraulic system. We shot all 12 pages of the script in one day at a really great studio in Bushwick called Chemistry Creative. In order to avoid reflections, our DP Matt Morgan wore a ski mask. We had a really tight schedule, but we basically had all the actors mic'd and had them read with each other so that it still allowed us to do a lot of improv. It took a couple weeks of editing with our editor Joanna Noggle, and once the film was picture locked, I took photos of our models and brought them into Premiere in order to figure out exactly what angles we would need. Our hero miniature was built by Jasper Anderson, while the alien miniature was 3D printed using a website called Shapeways and a royalty-free 3D model I found on a website called TurboSquid. We spent one day shooting the models in the Yacht Club office with a tiny green screen, often having to cheat lights and camera to get more complicated shots. In order to get our asteroids, I bought some art sponges and painted them gray and then twirled them on a stick. We shot all of our nebula backgrounds with practical fluid effects using a combination of condensed milk, hydrogen peroxide, and food coloring. We shot time lapses and video and found that video gave us much smoother motion, although a lot of grain removal had to be done in order to get it to composite nicely. All in all, there were 161 VFX shots in the whole movie because every goddamn shot was a VFX shot. First, I did an assembly using rough keys and keylight, placed all the backgrounds and ships, then made pre-comps and did proper keys on the ships while our VFX supervisor Tim Hendricks pulled all the cockpit luma mats in smoke. All the space nebula backgrounds were altered using vector blurs and Neat Video's noise reduction plugin, and the engines were built with Video Copilot's optical flares and heat distortion plugin, all of which were pre-rendered in order to save processing power. We did our titles with Video Copilot's Saber plugin and blurred our final composites using Frischluft's Lens Blur plugin. I composited everything using log footage and used a LUT to match contrast and color temperature between the different elements. We went to Irving Harvey for color, and we used our luma mats to separate the foreground from the background. I really wanted to get a fantastical sort of vibe from the color grade, so when I sat down with our colorist Matt Greenberg, we decided to glow our highlights and shift our blacks to different colors depending on the scene to sort of take it a step away from reality and make it feel more whimsical. And last but not least, the entire budget of the short came out to $12,000, and that was really only possible because we got a lot of huge favors by very experienced people, and I really can't thank them enough. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the movie.